Hello, and welcome to Sword and Keys, part 1 of our Triangle Agency playthrough. I am thrilled to be joined by 4 incredible players who are going to be our field agents for this session. We're going to do a little quick go-around where everyone can introduce themselves, maybe do a quick, just eensy-beensy commentary on who and what you're playing. And then we will do like full character descriptions here during our morning meeting. Let's see. I feel like there's... I'm going to put in chat. Today we're playing Triangle Agency because it sounds amazing, first of all. Paranormal investigation, sort of like a cross between X-Files, paranoia, and I felt like there was another description that we had that was very good. That kind
SCP?
of SCP, yes. They are currently running a Kickstarter, so this can be in your hot little hands. If you, I think it's just !T triangle? TA? I just wrote the command. You'd think I would remember what it was. Triangle. !Triangle in chat. And that should bring up the, thank you, Mitch, you are a hero. That should bring up the link to their Kickstarter. And that also lists a whole bunch of other interviews, actual plays, all sorts of other good stuff, and we will have an interview with the creators on Saturday. Anniek and I will be sitting down and getting more into the nitty-gritty. So, let's go around alphabetically. Anniek.
Hi, that would be me. I am Anniek. I usually GM this, so I'm very excited to get to play with a bunch of fun people. Today I will be playing Cassandra, and Cassandra does usually a nice cozy desk job. I do public relations for the agency, but recently I've become a caretaker to Maxine, and yeah, I'm not top of the pecking order anymore when it comes to like jobs and seniority, so I get to go out into the field today. I'm so excited.
Basil.
Hey everyone, it's me, Basil. Today I will be playing Patience Hollyhock, who is a gravedigger, and just sort of despite the job title, Patience is a fairly mellow, cheerful sort of person. So just very excited to be here and be playing with everyone. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Mitch.
Hi all, I'm Mitch D. I am going to be playing Dip, the loyal intern to the agency who is there to do the beck and call of all intern duties, maybe even test a few OSHA regulations to their extreme. We shall see. I have a feeling that Dip might get pushed around a little by some of these power players in the crew, but we shall go along with it and have some fun.
And Nicky.
Hello there, I'm Nick, And today I will be playing David Chin, a CEO who may or may not be a human who may or may not like to eat his employees if they get a bit too promotions happy.
Yeah, I would like to respond. He is definitely a human. All other rumors that you may have heard are just that. There are rumors, potentially slander. He is definitely a human.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing strange here.
Exactly.
Look, we said there were going to be 3 streams. We didn't say everyone would survive all 3 streams. Being eaten by a coworker is just a hazard that one might have. So, we are going to start our morning meeting. And before that is called, all of you are up to something. That sounds sinister, but you could be getting coffee, you could be on the phone with a loved one, you could be chatting with a coworker at the water cooler about sports. I don't know. That seems like a thing people do. Let's go reverse order. And why don't you tell me what you were doing?
I'll say David is, despite his demeanor to his crew, he is fairly, hardworking. So I would say that at the start of the morning, he would be in his office reading a book that is essentially How to Be a Human. Just to understand a bit more, practicing like how to say hello, the inflection, the intonation of his voice to ward off potential suspicions. Not because he wants to hide himself, but, it's just to make sure that PR doesn't come after him.
Dip.
Dip would probably be running the morning mail route throughout the office, dressed in his stereotypical black slacks, white short sleeve button-up shirt, and skinny black tie, proudly displaying his lanyard that says agency intern upon it, and going desk to desk and just dropping the mail off as he pushes his little cart.
I have to ask, is there any mail for Dip?
That he gets personally? No. Dip has never received mail.
Okay.
Oh.
I knew the answer, but I just had to hear you say it so I could feel sad.
Oh, that's okay. He stays in the break room where he sleeps in the evening, and that way he can have the coffee ready first thing in the morning for everybody.
Wow.
Oh. This is supposed to be fun horror, not sad.
Reality? Sorry.
Oh.
Projection.
Oh my gosh. Okay, patience.
So I feel like Patience is definitely that person with that Bluetooth headset in their ear constantly. So for their morning, they're definitely they're cleaning up a mess. It's just kind of how it goes, whether it's the dead of night or early in the morning. So they're on the phone with their fiance, and they're just like, no, babe, it's fine. It's fine. I'm telling you, we can totally get a pet. We can get a pet turtle. We can get a hamster. We can get gerbils. It's cool. Everything it's fine. Just chill. Who's gonna watch it? Oh, hold on. And then you just hear like the sound of like pneumatic tubes where there should not be tubes. Like this horror will just kind of whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like no, babe, that's just the toilets. They're bad in here. They haven't been renovated since the 70s. It's fine. No, I'm hands free, hun. It's cool. Of course I wash my hands. Have you seen my coat? Some of the others don't, but I do. It's fine. Yeah, no, hold on. And you just hear like, and you just hear Patience kind of talking louder, and it's just like, yeah, no, we can still get lunch later. No, trust me, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's cool. Hold on, and you hear like this like kicking and clanging until finally it stops with a weird sort of gurgle. And it's like, yeah, no, it's just old pipes, babe. It's cool. No, I'll catch up with you later, and we can keep talking about the pet situation. No, it's cool. But like, what actually was Patience doing? Because they're nowhere near a bathroom. Who knows? They're just It's what they do. They clean up the messes that other people definitely don't need to see in the morning or at all. And, you know, they do go and wash their hands, though. They are a strict adherent to cleanliness. You know, leave only footsteps, that sort of thing.
I wasn't going to ask because I didn't want to know if my assumption was wrong, but I am glad that you said that. And Cassandra.
Cassandra's using her dual monitor setup. She's buying bots on one of them to make sure that the appropriate newsreels are uploaded on places like Reddit and Instagram and TikTok, and make sure that, you know, videos of anomalies that look a little too real are scrubbed. And on the other monitor, of course, is the nanny cam I have for Maxine. I do think Cassandra is the type of employee who would have done that trick where they put the reflective screen on her screens. That means you can only see it if you're wearing the right glasses.
Ooh.
I was just going to ask how much company time is taken up checking the nanny cam.
It's sort of like just there in the background. The main thing is getting the bot army ready for another day, you know. And some of them are actual bots, some of them are people, some of them are... Actually, I don't even know what they are, and I don't want to know, and I didn't ask research. You just have to press the appropriate button at the appropriate time, it's fine.
Seems reasonable.
I think so.
I can't even tell if I was being sarcastic or not. That's probably...
I just assumed you were.
Probably not a great sign. Okay. You have all received messages on your pagers, emails, texts, little slips in your company inbox, telling you about the meeting this morning. There is coffee. There are no donuts. There are no snacks. There are no red shirt other interns for certain members to snack on, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
What there is your general manager seated at the head of the table with a briefcase, just a very capital N normal looking briefcase, a little zapper style gun that you are all familiar with, and one dossier that you will probably have to fight over, either for one of you to take it or who gets to take it. I'm not sure how proactive you are. I would like to think you are all proactive, because that is what the agency looks for in its agents. She'll gesture for you to have a seat and begin the meeting. There is a PowerPoint. I know you're very excited. And we will go over here.
While she starts up the PowerPoint, can I take that dossier?
Yeah.
And just start flipping through it?
Sure.
Beautiful.
In the dossier, there is, it is a very crisp manila folder.
Oh, can I just sniff it real quick before I open it?
You sure can.
Thank you.
It smells exactly like a very crisp new manila folder.
It's the little things.
It is. I didn't realize that was a thing, but here we are. So there is inside a large map of the city. There's a few circled areas, no question marks because that would imply the agency doesn't know something. which I will not admit to. But there is there's a park that you are probably familiar with for reasons that has been circled. There is what looks like a school and a couple other similar gathering places. There is a bullet-pointed list maximized to take up full paper space without really giving you a lot of details. It lists, it just says, children being weird, creeping people out, starting to become a pattern, probably fine, but creepy children are bad. Take care of it. And at the very bottom, in very small font, maybe the hospital? Still no question mark, but small font. And there's a few other, like, not quite, like, this page intentionally left blank pages in there. A good solid chunk of notes, you know, printed at the top. It says notes and it's blank for your use. And your general manager says, thank you all for joining us today. We have some reports that are maybe nothing, but we can't be too careful. So I need you all to go out and investigate. Everyone else is sort of tied up at the moment, but this is the perfect opportunity for you to get out and get some field experience. I would ask if you're ready, but it's also not really a question. So, what I have here for you is your briefcase, because if you do find an anomaly at the center of this, we request that you bring it back to us for containment. If you find yourself in danger, if there is a anomaly that is too great for your skills at this point, or if it is threatening you and you can't find any other way out of it, there is this ripple gun, but I will remind you that this is sort of a last-ditch effort. It is going to result in demerits if it is used, and I don't think I need to tell you what will happen if you use it on something that is not an anomaly. Bad things. Very bad things. It only has one charge, so be careful with it. Who is going to carry what item?
I will reach forward to grab the ripple gun.
I had no doubt.
Yeah, I'll take it. And then I'll grab the suitcase and toss it to Dip. You're kind of like those guys, like, thank you. And then he just throws it to the intern without a second.
I thought you'd do it the other way around. You know, Dip's gonna go in first anyway.
At that, Dip kind of like pushes his own briefcase that he proudly toted in with himself, kind of back behind his seat to make sure nobody sees it, now that he's embarrassed of the second briefcase.
What does Dip's... I just need to know if he, like, took time to save up his little intern salary and buy it himself, or is it, like, an heirloom?
No, he bought it from the standard catalog of office supplies, so it's just like this knockoff pleather, like my first briefcase kit from business school. If anybody were to open it, they would notice that it's filled with a few random books, candy, sandwich in a bag, and some files that literally just have blank pages of paper in them because that's all he's seen. He doesn't know what's in the files in the office.
To be fair, that gives it a nice weight. So, your candy and sandwiches will be left behind. In the dossier that Cassandra has received, you will find some places of interest, places that these reports have come from. You might find nothing, but we trust in your investigative skills to come up with something. I will be your contact in the field should you need anything. Otherwise, best of luck.
Of course. First job up, we're gonna bring it all in. Isn't that right, folks? I turn to my team.
David, just so you know in the future, as CEO, in training, however that works, the answer would be, we don't need luck. We have skill. The agency has trained us well.
Of course. My apologies. I pull up my How to Be a Human notebook right now. Skill, cross out luck. My entire speech.
All right. The places circled on the map are not... They're probably within a 10-block radius from each other. They're not all, like, right next to each other, but they are,
Question.
Yes. Is it how blocks work? Because I don't know. There is not a
How
status.
fucking long is a block? What does this mean to me? Give me an actual unit of distance for the love of everything.
I would say they are within... Each one is within a 20-minute to half-hour walk from each other.
Thank you.
Depending on traffic. And other obstacles.
How does traffic impact walking?
Crosswalks? Because busier streets have longer crosswalk times.
Oh, you wait for crosswalks?
Oh, I don't.
Check.
No, I went to school in Portland. I don't wait for anything.
So the fact that you're giving us walking times implies the agency does not supply us with any form of transportation? Metro
Office
car?
issued bicycles.
There are...
I'll take a bicycle.
Very nice company cars, like the black tinted windows town cars. You do not have access to them at this point.
I was afraid of that.
All right, scooter it is.
Scooter it is.
Company issued, company branded scooters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love chat for fact checking us. They gave us the length of a block.
Oh, that is very nice, and in meters.
Yeah, but if it's 100 meters, how do you spend half an hour walking a kilometer? Never mind. We'll say it's within 30 minutes of walking.
10 blocks. Yeah, 10 blocks is not quite half an hour of walking, but 20 minutes with crosswalks. I'm having like nightmare remembrances of like Las Vegas blocks, which are not the same as anywhere, like any other city. So it's a bad estimation, but look.
I live in a densely populated city in the Netherlands where a block is like 5 houses and then the next one already starts.
Oh no. 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 How would you like to get there as a group? Also, are you going as a group, or are you just splitting up and picking random?
How many places were marked? Because you said park, school, and similar gathering places. How many marks are there?
Yeah, so there's an alley. There's probably 5. 2 parks, a school, an alley, and a
Okay.
Not a conference center. What do you call it? Community center.
Sure.
And
I mean, we could split up and hit 2 places at the same time.
yeah, like these involve like school children, right? So community center and school seems like the best bet.
I mean, there's also a tiny bit of font that says hospital, so what we could do is just 4-way split, meet at the hospital after? No, wait. No, we are not letting Dip out alone.
Yep, I was just about to say.
No, I heard myself say it, and I went, no. We could do 2, and then meet at the hospital.
All right, so here's the plan. Dip and I will go to the school to question those kids and the teachers. The 2 of you can go anywhere else that is not the school. And then give 2 thumbs up.
Look at you humaning.
Yeah, working on it.
Good job. Look, at least you have thumbs now, you know?
All right, to the agency-sponsored scooters. Okay, no, copyright infringement.
All right. We will split the party.
Yep.
We will also try and figure out where Alchemy went.
I like the idea of the scooter. Dip is the one driving the scooter, and there's a basket next to it where I'm just lounging with my sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
Just weaving through thick traffic.
Dip's pulling him in a rickshaw.
Yeah, basically.
By foot.
Oh, no.
I would just love to know why the music is just ruining my day. Okay, so let's go with Dip. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. I'm so sorry. Let's go with David and Dip first. How are you approaching this?
All right, so again, like I said, I'm being literally dragged via rickshaw towards the school. So the moment we arrive, I will lead us to the, oh god, what's that place where the principal's office. Yes, that's why it's called. I haven't been to school in too long.
That's fair.
Go to the principal's office to speak to them about the strange occurrences with the children and see what they know.
Yeah.
Dip follows a few steps behind David, just carrying the briefcase, kind of in wide-eye awe the whole time we've been out of the building. Almost to the point of tripping a few times on curbs on our way over here. And at the school is like, almost like a child. Their first day of school is just wide-eyed and looking at everything.
All right. Keep your back straight, Dip. We are representing the company out here, the agency out here.
Dip is very professional. He would not want to, misview the company at all, but he cannot contain that little bit of like, this is something new as he's walking along.
You get a few looks from, so this is a holiday week. There's children kind of in the play yard, but in just it's an area for kids to play sort of way. The school is open, but it's mostly just a couple teachers doing work while the kids are out. I also haven't been to school for a while, so I don't remember what the in-service days is what we call it. I have no idea if that's true even one school district over, let alone in other countries. But you do get a few curious looks from just teachers in the hall. The principal's office is open. There's an empty secretary desk, but the door is open. And you can see a man working on some paperwork.
All right. I will walk right in. Just for clarity, David is like dressed every day that he's been working at the agency. He's always wearing this extremely immaculate 3-piece business suit. The exact same color, same shade every single day. You do not know if he just has a wardrobe of the same thing or he just grows these clothes out of his body and just keeps wearing it. And so he always looks extremely well put together, and he doesn't even knock. He just walks straight into the principal office. Hello, principal. I have need to speak with you about something.
Oh, hello. He kind of straightens his own suit and, yes, do I know you?
No, you do not. I have questions about the strange children that you have in your school. I would like more information about that. Speak, I point right at his nose.
As David says that, Dip reaches through and you see him funneling through his pocket and puts a business card, one of David's business cards, down on the principal's desk in front of him. And then just stands back behind David again.
Why don't...
oh no, first roll of the day?
I believe so. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your... I love this game because you are rolling 6d4s, which I don't think get enough love. And as one might suspect from a game called Triangle Agency, we are looking for 3s. And the more, if you have multiples of 3, that's even better. Depending on your metric of success, I suppose. So go ahead and roll and tell me how many 3s you get.
Would this be that? Oh wait, it doesn't matter which quality I use, right? I just roll.
Right, you can use your quality points to adjust rolls.
Oh, okay, so that's what it does. For this one, I just roll it norm and see what happens.
For this one.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's 2 3s. Oh, 3 3s, actually. Damn.
That is a success. But not only is it a success, that is transcendence. Which means you don't generate any chaos, which is good for you. And you also get to pick, if you have it up, it is on page 16 in your field agent manual. It is the Transcendence chart. You can recharge 3 quality assurances. You can receive 3 commendations.
Oh, I mean, I'll take the commendations.
That does
I don't
not
have
surprise me.
Yeah.
I will add that to your... That feels like a CEO thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is an effective tactic. And your principal, Principal Winters is the very nice nameplate on his desk. I mean, it's... The parents really don't like it when we call them creepy. There is, however, some unusual behavior. Have you ever tried to get children to do something in unison? We are a primary school, and their coordination is in development, we'll say. And the darndest thing, just right before we released them for the holiday break, they were just out on the schoolyard in one voice, just... I don't know if you're familiar with that, step on a crack and break your mother's back, like, saying. but they just chant it, and they just jump across the pavement, and it's like a flock of birds, just all in one go. I don't know who taught them that. I would like some words. I've worked with kids for 15 years, and it's just weird. I'm hoping they get over it. You know, it's just one of those TikTok trends. They're done with it by the time they shouldn't really be on it anyway. They're too young, but it's the only thing I can think of. I'm hoping they get distracted by, I don't know, a new movie or gum, something, anything.
So Dip is jotting notes while this is being said in a little pocket notebook, and he just looks up and he says, "So the tiny humans are premeditating harm to their mothers, not fathers, or both parental entities."
I mean, it's just a saying, isn't it?
Is it? Okay. And he goes back to writing.
Is it?
Yes, children's.
I thought it was.
Very interesting. Children's are half the size, half the stomach that it fills. But anyway, so you were mentioning about this song. Is there like a specific time of the day where they do this collaborative in unison dance, or is it based on the position of the sun and the moon?
I mean, I can't tell you the last time I really paid attention to the moon. That's kind of sad, actually.
How could you? You are the principal. You are slacking in your job. Don't make me speak to your manager, sir.
I'm not actually sure what one has to do with the other, but no, it's always after school, not during the midday breaks. It's always during the after school, either waiting to leave or just, yeah, never in the morning, never in the day.
And always the same location?
That I've seen. I don't really follow them around, but they haven't done it in the school. It's always outside.
And when do the tiny humans leave?
Around 3 p.m.
Thank you.
Please don't fact check your general manager on when primary schools get out, because I don't know, but 3 p.m. sounds great.
Thank you for your assistance. You'll be getting a call from us. I turn around and walk out.
Let us crossfade over to Patience. What area has Patience gone over to?
Can you give me a rundown of what's left? I know there were a couple of parks. There was a creepy alleyway. There was the school. There was a community center. Is that all of them?
Yeah, it was 2 parks, a community center, and the alleyway. And Cassandra, where were you headed?
Oh, I picked the one of the parks, and then we were all going to meet up at the hospital after, because that wasn't circled, it was just in notes.
Yes.
So either park or community center is all yours.
Or alley.
Or alley, we can go together.
I think probably Patience would check out the park first.
Mm-hmm.
Just because alleys just sound too narrow and gross. And it's been a while probably since they touched grass, so.
You find yourself at a neighborhood, you know, it's surrounded by townhomes on one side, little corner shop bodegas across on the other side. This park itself probably takes up, at the risk of showing off how terrible I am at distances again, it is definitely a smaller, you can see across it. It is maybe a quarter of a block. Yep, got you with that one, didn't I?
25 meters is the tiniest fucking park.
Yeah, no, it is very much like there is a little...
It's a
slide. It's got a little slide and a monkey bar situation over in one corner, and then there's a little path, and there's a little hill with grass on it, and some very sad, but they're trying their best, flowers. And then there is a perfect square of pavement that has both hopscotch lines in it and a foursquare thing marked in it, and then also a basketball key kind of outlined, and a very sad basketball hoop. And then another little paved path off through like 3 trees, and then you hit the sidewalk on the other side. It is very much just this is our corner of fresh air part of the neighborhood. And what is your approach? And there are some people milling around and some children and...
Patients would probably just kind of stroll over to where the hopscotch chalk marks are and just kind of look down at it for a second, and then just kind of be like, oh, I haven't done this in years. I was always terrible at Foursquare, but I think I still remember how to do this. Hey, Cassandra, check this out. And Patience is just gonna play hopscotch real fast.
I never knew how to do that.
See, I never knew how to play Foursquare. Like, I played it once and I was doing good, and then suddenly I was out and I did not understand how. Like, at all. It was so weird. That and Tetherball. Tetherball is weird. But I was actually pretty good at hopscotch. I feel like Patience would probably just, like, kind of go slower than you're supposed to. Just kind of soaking it in, enjoying the time outside, because I feel like they spend a lot of time inside, underground, cleaning up things, and just being able to see the sun and get some fresh air is nice in a leisurely sort of way.
Mm-hmm. Nothing on the surface is really striking you as weird, as you're enjoying being outside, the smell of the poor sad flowers and the grass, nothing's really cutting through your attention. There's the low hum of voices, people chatting, street noises. But otherwise it's just a nice little tiny park.
I think at that, like, just seeing, like, everyone's just sort of chilling, Patience would maybe, like, look at each of the adults and try to figure out which one was, like, the most adulty looking adult that would maybe be helpful, and just kind of amble over to one and be like, hey, cool park. Not a lot of kids out, though. They're not enjoying themselves. Y'all should get some fruit trees in here. That'll really, trust me, they'll just start showing up as soon as those things are in bloom. To go for some lemons, honestly.
Let me tell you, we have been talking to the town council for years about letting us put some other just plants in here. I would love a fruit tree. I would love any sort of, not that. It's a very inoffensive set of, like, aspen trees. Like, there's nothing wrong with them at all. I'm just very tired of not being listened to, Like, we all agree, the neighborhood agrees, this could do with a facelift, and no one's listening to us. But I haven't seen you around here before, I don't think.
Oh, I'm just on one of my usual sort of ambles and rambles, just trying to enjoy the sunshine and the fresh air. It's just... you stay too cooped up in an office for too long, you just start, pining for the fjords, as they say.
They are not going to let us put a fjord in here, let me tell you what. I'm Amanda. That's my son Kevin over there. We're out here, gosh, at least twice a day. It's not an office, but being cooped up in the house is also a nightmare these days. But yeah, it's just one thing after another, you know. If it's not an office, it's the house, and you have to find your freedoms where you can, right? So good on you for getting out and enjoying the park. That's what it's here for.
Yeah, I'm having an excellent time here. Is your son having a good time? I'm worried with these trees. There's not too much shade. You don't want the poor deer to get, heat exhaustion.
No, he's doing okay. He had well, I don't want to say a bit of a spell the other day, but yeah, maybe heat stroke or something. Maybe we need some more broadleaves. I should look into that. But he and a couple of the other kids just got a little funny. But you know, being out here in the morning with the cooler air, I think, is doing him a lot better. And you see, Kevin's just maybe 6. And he's just sitting at the bottom of the slide, just talking to another kid about some toy. They both have like the same brand of toy, but different colors, and they're kind of having a little conversation with them. Normal kid stuff, I assume. What are kids? I don't know.
So by spell, do you mean he just got a little overheated, or because yeah, he definitely seems fine.
I like actual magic. That'd be ridiculous. No, they just, you know how kids kind of make up their own games. There were like 4 of them. I don't think that kid over there was one of them, but they just started kind of doing this hop around the pavement and chanting that hideous thing about like step on a crack and break your mother's back. Like, no thank you, first of all. But also just, it was like one voice, and I just picked him up and we just went home because that was creepy and not the sort of game I want Kevin to be part of. I mean, working with others is great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just, like, that's... Is it weird? Is it because I'm the mother? Like, my back is fine, but, like, that's weird, right?
Well, you know how kids are. Sometimes they just wake up that morning and decide to be a little weird. I was a weird kid myself, so I know how it is. You just get those urges. But, they pass. He seems fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Oh! If I made a petition, would you sign it? Do you come here often? Because maybe I will talk to someone about these trees, but like if I had paperwork, maybe they'd listen.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely sign a petition. We have to preserve these parks and these spaces for our children. Children are the future. As time goes forward, and at this you kind of see patients get a little animated and just say, like, as time goes forward, we just have to keep moving, keep rushing, keep going, and as it just stretches on and 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 on, and then they just kind of stop and go, oh, sorry, I think the coffee finally kicked in. Sorry about that. But the future is just so expansive, and it's wonderful. And then they just kind of like go back to being kind of chill and stick their hands in their pockets and are just like, but yeah, petition, cool. I'd sign it.
Maybe I'll draft one up. There is Is there anything else you would like to do at the park? Or ask her about?
I think probably Patience would turn to Cassandra and just kind of like make a little hand motion, like, oh, do you want to say anything or look around at anything more? And probably Patience would just give like a very quick wave to Kevin, like, oh, hey, kid.
I think, didn't you two go to different parks?
Did we? I thought we went to the same location.
I think we were 2x2ing it.
Okay.
Because no, I mean, I do want to punish you for things, but not this badly.
I was willing to let you because it was going to come back to you eventually.
Yeah, no, we were going 2x2, so I figured that while Patience was like dealing with people, I could be scouting around for other stuff.
Yes. What are you looking for? And Kevin will, kind of confused, but will wave at Patience.
Patience just gives like a little thumbs up, like, yeah,
yay.
Kids.
Besides Kevin, are there other kids?
Yeah, there's a few.
Great.
There's probably 5 total in the park. There's Kevin and the other kid sitting at the slide, and then there's 3 kind of in the grassy area.
Great. I want to go to those 3 in the grass area. I mean, Cassandra would have like at least switched to sneakers for a 30-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
But other than sneakers, is still pretty much dressed for the office. So as she approaches him, you see her like going, do I sit in the grass to talk to him? Do I, because the suit? Hi, kids.
Hi.
Must repress the natural urge to ask if they follow the Triangle Agency on TikTok yet. I'm going to, because I'm assuming I already heard Patience talk to Amanda. So I want to ask, I work in PR, right? I try to stay on the trends, but I know we have no chance to keep up with you kids. So I need you to help me out. When did nursery rhymes become cool again?
What are you talking about? Why would they be cool? They're for little kids.
I heard that there were lots of kids singing nursery rhymes in unison for TikTok videos recently. Like at the school, at the park.
Like a trap because we're not really supposed to be on TikTok, but also I don't actually know what you're talking about.
I mean, fine, put it on Instagram. I mean, you're too young, no offense, for Facebook.
It's not for
you
like
definitely
grandparents.
Exactly. You don't have a LinkedIn either, so I'm gonna assume you're on TikTok, even though you're not technically supposed to be.
I've been on LinkedIn since I was like 5.
That is disturbing, and yet I'm proud of you.
Okay,
always negotiate with the recruiters.
I was just kidding about that because I don't know what you're talking about.
Perfectly fair. But like that kid Kevin over there and a bunch of other kids and some kids at a school and some kids at a different park. Apparently they managed to do this really like in unison, like you normally see at like America's Best Dance Crew and stuff. So I was just sort of wondering. But I guess if it passed you by, maybe you're just not that cool.
You sound just like my dad. He was talking about a dance thing the other day, and I was like, Dad, I don't dance. And he was like, but you just did. And I was like, Dad, you're being weird in front of my friends.
When do you mean? What day was this?
I don't know. Friday? So, a couple days ago?
Was that here?
Yeah? Yeah, we were here.
Around what time?
This is a lot of questions from someone I don't... You're not going to offer me candy, are you? Because that's weird.
I will not offer you candy. I don't have candy.
Well, now I'm disappointed. I don't know.
I can offer you an energy drink.
It was after school.
Fair.
I lost my watch.
Oh no.
It was very
Here,
sad.
did you look for it?
Well, yeah, when I lost it, but I don't know when I lost it.
I mean, that would be the problem with losing your watch. You don't know what time it is anymore.
Yeah. I don't really care anyway. I mean, it's just time.
Fair. When your dad embarrassed you in front of your friends, how many friends were there? Just to have an idea of the social crime your dad committed.
My best friend, and then there was my other best friend. And then there was that kid, I think. Or maybe a kid that looked like him. And then you were there, weren't you? Points at one of the kids standing next to him. Yep, I was there. It was real embarrassing. His dad got real weird.
Wait, your dad was here. Amanda, like Kevin's mom, was here. Were any of your other parents here?
Yeah.
Did
my
any
mom
of
was.
them embarrass you?
No, she was on her phone. She said that she didn't see what his dad was talking about, and that if we said we weren't dancing, we weren't dancing. He got kind of huffy, is what she said. I just thought he got mad.
Great. Perfect. Well, thank you for your time. Again, no candy, only energy drinks and business cards.
The first kid gives a real world-weary sigh. Time is all I got, and I'll accept the energy drink.
There you go. It's a Triangle Agency branded can of Monster.
Excellent. Perfect. Very excited for how that turns out.
Look, the reason they say don't give it to kids under 13 is like legalese. I'm sure there's no biological detriment. I think. Or at least Cassandra thinks.
Unless it's like Four Loko.
I mean, there's a few other things you shouldn't give them, but yeah, Cassandra's like whatever. It has our label. It has our logo on it. I'm sure they tested it. I'll reconvene with patients.
Probably not got a anomaly straight in it. It's probably fine.
No. It's bottled next to an anomaly. That's fine.
So, did patients hear that conversation that Cassandra was having with the kid?
If you wanted to, I mean...
Yeah.
It's a tiny park.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. So, because I'm feeling like probably at the repeated mentions of like, I don't have a watch in time, like patients' ears would have perked up a little. And so, they probably would have like turned to Cassandra and been like, you know, time is so important. I know I've got, and they start rooting around in their pockets and you just start seeing strangely like a bunch of watches. Like you've got pocket watches, wrist watches, pagers that have been turned into just clocks now instead of actually sending messages. They just have global times on them. They're just kind of looking at all of them. And they're like, you think this kid would like any of them? Well, maybe not the pager. Maybe this sort of wristwatch thing.
I mean, I think they're going to think it is all incredibly uncool.
No, you're right. Kids they're always on the new cool thing.
Unless you have something that's worth more than we make in a month from a very famous brand, they're going to think it's uncool.
Are you doing this like out in the open?
Yeah, like patience just got a little too sucked into like how exciting time is, and it's just
and I'm just
literally
trying to slow her down from running up to kids, going, "Kids, I have watches for you."
Yeah,
like there's just like little pocket watches, like the chain is just hanging off each finger, and they're all ticking, but that none of them are the same time, and then a few of them are in fact running backwards.
I think the first kid, Forrest, is just gonna kind of perk their head. Are you some kind of watch thief? Why you got all them watches? You don't have my watch, do you?
They just collect them.
I'm a collector, dear. I love watches. Time. You've got to take time with your time, because if you run out of time, then there's no time to have time of time.
I need both of you to stop talking about time right about now, which I realize is a measurement of time, but for real, they don't have your watch, kid. You lost it. Scour the park.
I'm sure it'll turn up
little
somewhere.
Kid, like, tears start to brim and then just cascade down the chubby cheeks and just...
Oh no.
You're not here to steal my watch, are you? I don't even have it anymore.
No, little one, don't cry. And this actually segues into a question I wanted to ask about whether or not I could use one of my anomaly powers.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Please do. What are you using?
So, with my anomaly being timepiece, even though I definitely do not have points in this, so I'm sure this will be fine. I wanted to go up to one of the kids that was talking about, when one of the ones that did the creepy chant with the other kids, and just I wanted to use the remember when power, because I was hoping to maybe try to get them to remember when they were doing the creepy sort of dance or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like, though, before that, Patience would go up to the crying kid and sort of like reach into a different pocket and pull out like this little travel pack of like not Kleenex tissues that have little clocks on them, and it's just like, here, kid. Well, not the tissues themselves, the little festive paper. It's like, here, no, don't cry. Here, you don't want to ruin your cool outfit.
Yeah. So let's do a roll.
Okay.
And I believe so. Yeah, you don't have any quality assurances in.
Not an empathy. That was intentional. Patience tries, but is not the best at that.
That's okay.
So let's see. Got 2 actual dice, and then I'll have to roll the rest online. Let's see here. Roll these 2 ones.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay. That's a good start. Let's roll the other ones on this roller. Okay. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so with my actual physical dice, I got 2 3s, and then with the online one, I got 2 more 3s. So I got 4 3s, and then like a 2 and a 1 on the other ones.
Yes. Yeah, because you subtracted the 1 3, right? Because you don't have any points in empathy. So
right. How do I do that? Like,
I mean, you can just tell me. So it's how many 3s total do you have?
I have 4 3s in total before subtracting, I guess.
Okay, so that'll make 3. That's not going to be a triscendence, because of the way we got to the 3. Because you didn't roll 3 3s.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah. Also, because the reason you got there is because of the burnout. But, I mean, that's still definitely a success. That is going to add 3 chaos. Which is fine. It's just a little bit, right? So, success. How does that look?
I feel like probably Patience would kind of like take a moment, and then realizing that, how does one comfort a child, and just sort of awkwardly, was thinking of patting their shoulder and just kind of pats them on the head, like there, just there, like weird sort of kind of correct hand motions, and then they just sort of root around again in their pocket, and they're just like, here, hun, have this. And it's this, oh gosh, It's like this like super chunky kind of like 1980s looking like wristwatch that has way too many buttons, but it's also like really neon looking. So it's like this won't replace the one you lost, but you know, neon is always cool, right? So here, and you know, while we're talking about cool things, uh, do you remember when you remember that time when you and your friends were doing that dance? Like maybe if you just give it a little bit more thought, just kind of, you know, think back, but like think really far back.
So, on every third 3, you can request a particular memory for me to detail, and this effect can reveal information behind even anomalous memory blockages or wipes. So, you still get that third 3. So, Forrest, eyes absolutely transfixed on this new watch, reaches for it, and just eyes absolutely locked on it, not moving, says, well, we were on the playground and there was 5 of us, and we started to just sort of come together. It felt important that we come together and help each other. And we couldn't step on the cracks because that's bad. But we just jumped around to avoid them, and we did, and that was really good. And we said the thing about step on a crack and break your mother's back, which is bad, so we didn't do it. But that's what we said. And it was just for like a minute, and then we stopped. And I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do. 'Cause we were helping. Didn't we help?
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to help. Helping is important, you know? Helping makes you a good kid. You're a good kid, Forrest. And at that, Patience just kind of gives them like an actual like proper like pat on the shoulder, like, you know, good job.
I think as soon as you pat his shoulder, he kind of like blinks out of the memory and takes the watch if you're still offering it, and
oh yeah, definitely.
Scrubs his cheeks. That was weird, but thanks for the watch.
Yeah, try not to lose this one. So it's so cool, you know. Clocks. It's just like a sort of like a weird sort of like for a half second, like when Patience says clocks, like her voice kind of slows down in a weird way, but then kind of picks back up like, yeah, cool. Do I still I think you said I could ask you to describe something in perfect detail. Was that it, or do I get an additional thing?
You are correct. That is not perfect detail. That was that would be the Forest's view from behind the memory blockage. But so the actual physical scene was just 5 kids, varying ages, probably all under 10. No babies, like all probably 4 and up in this group. There's and they're not necessarily even together. There's, you know, 2 overdoing one thing, one sketching some bugs, I guess that's a thing, and then 2 others having a heated discussion about playing cards, and at an unknown signal, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything, I would say it's 3 o'clock. There's a switch that flips, and they all stand up if they weren't already standing, and they meet in the middle of this little paved area, and they all face the same direction, down the path through the trees, and they start hopping. It's kind of like hopscotch, and they are actively avoiding the cracks in the side of the pavement, and in unison are chanting the "step on a crack and break your mother's back," and that's it. They repeat it a few times. They kind of loop around, perfect balance, perfectly, they're like 2 feet apart from each other, perfectly evenly spaced. It is very synchronized. And then at the end of it, like another switch is flipped, they go back to their original spots, and a couple parents come over and are like, "What was that?" And the kids say they have no memory of it.
Okay, cool. So does patients sort of like see all of that like in their mind's eye, or?
Yeah, I think as you were focusing on Forrest, does that seem reasonable to you that it would be from Forrest's perspective?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, because I wanted to investigate like the path near the trees, but I didn't want to do that if like Forrest, or like if that was just sort of like out of character knowledge because of the.
So before, during, and after, you don't see anything. There's not anything really visible. Actually, I take that back. There is a 6th child at the juncture of the park walkway and the sidewalk. But it's a fuzzy shape, which you shouldn't have in this anomalous power of yours. It is very much like bad vision, beer goggles, sort of just like very blurry, which is not something you should see in this vision of yours. Everything should be clear and sharp, but this child-shaped creature is not.
So it's like an actual. It's just like an actual child, though, right? Not like a shadow child. It's like it actually looks like a person, but it's just indistinct. Like if I took off my glasses right now.
Yeah, you would know it's probably some type of anomaly, or minor, probably a minor anomaly, but it is not. It's not a real human child with no anomalies. Like it is firmly in the anomaly category.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think after learning that, just patients would just give like a quick thumbs up, which they've decided is their way of like approving of children. They're just like, yeah, youth, and then go back.
We love a thumbs up.
And then go back over to Cassandra and kind of share the information that they learned, especially describing the anomaly and just going, hey, so, don't freak out or anything, but I think what we're looking for is sort of a child. And, patients is making sure they're like kind of looking around to make sure nobody's listening and just kind of like squished in kind of close, like, like, hey, I think it's a child, like just trying to describe it from their memories. It's like, and it was weird because everything should have been, crisp, HD, clear, but they were very fuzzy. Like that time that they forgot to clean out the filter on the coffee machine, and that was a weird Wednesday, wasn't it? Just poor Dip.
It was a very weird Wednesday. I mean, at least we got a new Dip out of it in the end.
Yes, what number Dip are we on?
Honestly, I've lost track, but
peeling
they keep
Dip
refining.
off the floor.
They keep refining the process.
It wasn't too bad to peel Dip off the floor, though. So
no.
is just
Those
figuring out what to
people.
do with the clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily freaking out about the fact that the anomaly is probably child-shaped. More annoyed that, when anomalies are this mobile, they're harder to track down. I say we contact the other teammates. Physically hurts to have to call them this. See what they're up to. If they're taking forever, we can hit either the alley or the other park, or if they're already done, we can talk about meeting at the hospital. I'm assuming they're going to take a long time, or take detours, or need rescuing. I'm just saying maybe touch base with them real quick.
I mean, I am being dragged by Dip on a rickshaw on foot. So that's probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
You do have whatever communication method you deem appropriate, be it company cell phones or walkie-talkies or something.
David has a Nokia brick phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cassandra has both an iPhone and an Android phone because you have to make sure you can do cross-platform everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Patience's current obsession is with pagers, but trying to find a pager that they have not retrofitted into being another clock is a little tricky. They do finally find one, and it's kind of it has a bunch of duct tape on it. And it's like, oh yeah, right, you little backup pager, little pagey, and just was like, wait, how do pagers actually work? And they're just they poke at it for a second before remembering, and then they just sort of send off a quick message.
Which is perfect since David has a brick Nokia.
Mm.
I picture Dave whenever he doesn't want to pay attention in a meeting, just playing Snake on that thing.
Yeah.
Because he relates to the snake so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly.
Get that food, little reptile. Get the food.
He doesn't even play on silent mode. You can hear the...
Awful. Awful.
On that note, let's take 10-ish minutes to reflect on that coworker we've all had as we go to break and the group smash cuts to the hospital. We will, be back very soon. Pet your pets, hydrate, do all the things, and we'll see you soon. Hi, hello, and welcome back. We have... I'm just making sure it did what I thought it did. We have now added commendations, demotions, and chaos to the overlay, just so everyone can keep track. The giant 3 above my head is chaos, which I'm very excited for. And David is at 4 commendations instead of 3. Because they made the very excellent point that he's told Dip to ferry him around the city, and I'll allow it. And yes, as a reminder, each all of you in your competencies, your job titles, should have things that give you they're sanctioned behaviors. They are things that the agency encourages you to do within your job description. I do have the list of each of yours, but also it would be very handy if you're like, I just took the blame for something, which I think earns me a commendation, and odds are pretty good I'll give it to you because that's who I am. Don't take the blame for anything though, because none of you are using the hotline competency. Also, I like creative uses of things, so keep that in mind.
Quick question.
Yes.
Sorry, I meant to ask this while we were still on break. Do I get a commendation then since I dug up some dirt as since my title is Gravedigger? I didn't know if they meant that literally or figuratively.
I feel like it is. I'm gonna go with both because I find that amusing. So this isn't going to count for like every single time you dig up like any information, but that was like serious dirt.
Yeah,
so to speak.
I figured because it was critical to learning what the anomaly looked like.
Yeah.
Although now I'm just trying to imagine whether Patience has like one of those retractable shovels like they have in the Parks and Rec in my state, so they can just.
I love that idea. And if, I mean, you do have. What did you fill out for your self-assessment? Did you create demand or shovel technique?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
I mean, either way, I'd say you'd have a shovel, but
yeah, hold on, let me. Oh gosh, notepad with me. Okay, I have shovel technique. Yes, that is the one I picked because I have points in attentiveness.
So, yes, just as a quick overview of the characters, upon introduction, we did do some character descriptions, didn't we? Yeah.
Here and there.
Here and there. When we enter the hospital, feel free to round out your character description if you have not already. But each character has 3 facets. Trifacets, if you will. Anomaly, reality, and competency. So there's what the characters, each of them possess a little anomaly that is regulated by the agency to some extent. Reality, which is basically what they do in their off time, who they are at home, and competency, the assigned position in the agency. So each of those is unique per player. No one is doubled up on anything, so there is a lot of delightful variation. Okay, so I will change your we'll do that right now. One competency. One commendation, rather. You meet at hopefully this plays the music. The hospital? Question mark? Showing for everyone? It's showing for me, so it's showing on stream, so good enough.
Right.
It is the hospital. Which group arrives first?
I mean, I'm not carrying patients, so I imagine we're there. We are a little earlier.
Fashionably late for the 2 of us.
Sure,
Yeah.
that tracks. And as you arrive, are there any descriptions of yourself that you would like to flesh out, so to speak?
I did describe Cassandra as full office suit, but with the sneakers because we're walking. Yeah, one of those 2 hip leather backpacks because she knows technically adults shouldn't wear backpacks, but she wants to because they're comfortable and practical. So she went a little excessively fashion with her leather backpack, but also needed to be cool because she's in PR. So it's the newest Doc Martin leather backpack.
So you went backpack for even distribution as opposed to the messenger bag, which is bad for your back.
Correct. Yes. It looks heavy. You have no idea if it actually is. Cassandra herself is a woman. Let's just call her a millennial because that's what she is. Brown hair with the kind of braid that takes 30 seconds but looks like it takes longer, that she picked the style off of TikTok at some point when she went, oh, we can do that with her hair now?
We're not sponsored, by the way, by TikTok. It's just
no. Cassandra is just, where you need to go for PR is where you need to go for PR. Like she also does the newspapers but they're all cartels and it's awful. Pick your overlord. Yeah. No makeup because why? Yeah. Pretty regular looking person. Pretty sure nothing about her looks give any hints as to her anomaly, so.
fair enough. And Patience. Anything you would like to add as you arrive at the hospital?
Yeah, so definitely I think since they got their first, Patience definitely does pull out a specific pocket watch that's a bit more ornate. It looks like you could take it to like a fancy party, like it would be hanging off their belt loop or wherever you're supposed to put them exactly, I forget, and just kind of flicks it open. In the only thing on there, it's in little like triangle shaped little pie slice increments, and there's a specific section that says fashionably late, and they're sort of looking at it and looking at Dip and David like almost nearly almost not fashionably late, but I suppose that works. And so they close the watch and kind of return it to their pockets. And so Patience kind of just wears sort of whatever. Like the one thing about them is that they have this sort of long duster coat, which you can tell is mostly used to keep off various things that could try to stain their clothes as they do their job. But the cloak on the duster cloak is honestly the coolest thing on them. The rest is like sort of like really faded, like it's like a really faded some sort of band t-shirt with the year kind of sort of scuffed. You can't even tell, like, was it the 90s, was it the 50s, was it the 1800s? Who knows? They have on like a pair of like black jeans that look like they've been worn for longer than they should, but they're still in pretty good condition. The main thing with the coat is that there's a bunch of pockets to hold all their various timekeeping implements and notepads and various other things. Their hair they keep twisted into it's a twist out because Patience, like me, is black. So it's a twist out that they keep kind of away from their face with various sort of various hair ties of various colors. That's kind of where most of the color comes from because their outfit's very, very much trying not to show stains. So it's all like blacks and browns and kind of grays and stuff, like a dark steel gunmetal gray. And they wear glasses because trying to visualize a character that does not wear glasses like I do always goes wrong. So for the most part, they're just they have that kind of casual air about them, or they're trying to be anyway. But you can tell every so often they're kind of a little fidgety. But I think that's mostly because they were waiting for the others to show up, and they're fiddling on a pager, and it kind of looks like they're maybe playing Pac-Man on it somehow.
Pac-Man, another of David's favorite game.
I love that y'all like. This is the like character depth and like roundedness is like, no, I know what games are on my phone /pagers/ or the nanny cam. One of the two. Like we've got.
I was going to say, while Patience is playing on Pac-Man, I think Cassandra's on nanny cam, texting the sitter. Make sure she has enough lunch. Don't give her anything she doesn't like.
I'm also very charmed by the idea that you are doing this 10 months out. Like, unless you just go through sitters, like...
It's been the same sitter the whole way, and I do it every day.
Yeah.
There's also a PDF, there's an Excel file, there's a Word file.
With photos.
There's a binder on the kitchen counter. The sitter knows where it is. All emergency contacts are on the refrigerator, but call me first.
All right. And Dip and David, you arrive.
Yeah.
Fashionably
All right.
late.
As we arrive, I like to think that it's like one of those scenes in like one of those like comedies or whatever where David just very photogenically flips himself out of the rickshaw, flips his hair, adjusts his coat, and then walking in slow motion. And then beside him is just Dip carrying everything, looking completely winded and covered in sweat. Walking towards the hospital.
Well, luckily all Dip's got to carry is the briefcase. So, but Dip's still looking that very much, like I said, short sleeve white button up tie and black slacks, very much Geek Squad nerd herd-esque look to him. But he's carrying the briefcase, but also trying to write. He's kind of got the pad of paper in his hand at the same time as looped the handle. And he's just kind of stopped and he's examining what appears to be just a pigeon on the side of the sidewalk over there. And if anybody's looking, they can literally see he is writing the literal, class, phylum, order, scientific full-on of what this is in the pigeon. And he's still just, even though he's sweating from running this rickshaw, he's grinning. His eyes are wide open like a kid on a field trip. But he does, when he stops, he adjusts his tie. He makes sure his lanyard is perfectly straight. Because he doesn't want to misrepresent, even though he is just having so much fun being outside. Something he's only experienced twice. This being the second time.
I love so much about all of this, and all of you together just is an incredible group.
Nothing can go wrong. We've got this in plan. This is great. We're fine.
I also love that there's 2 scooters and then a rickshaw just like next to each other in the parking lot now. Someone in the Triangle Agency Requisition Department's like, did we have a rickshaw? I do want to just, before we enter the hallowed halls of the hospital, patience. Question for you. Forrest is still a living child whom you touched on the shoulder. And I believe that gives you a demerit, correct?
Yes, I remember we had talked about that, and I was thinking about it too. Whenever I touch something living, I receive a demerit. Which I will fully take that demerit. I feel like that's probably part of the reason why Patience is so bad at consoling people and has zero empathy, because they don't touch people. They don't touch living things anymore. They're just like, maybe I should have just gotten out the my little retractable mop and just kind of.
Yep. Perfect.
They probably, while they're standing there, they realize, oh wait, I don't think I'm supposed to. It just kind of probably turns to Cassandra and it's just like, was that kid? No, that kid was alive, wasn't he? Yeah.
It was when we left, and no one can prove otherwise.
I did want to stress, Forrest still alive. What dreams they may have tonight, we don't know. So excellent, good, great. Man, we're getting some commendations, we're getting some demerits. I had a little bit of chaos. We're getting there. You have successfully made it to the hospital, and there is it's a hospital. There's people around. There's...
Wait, were we told why the hospital is a place of interest? Are there like kids held here?
It
Not held
literally
here
just
for...
said maybe hospital in small print down at the bottom of the
Yeah,
dossier.
the reason we thought this one, I thought this one was extra suspicious is because it doesn't have a red circle with an obviously missing question mark, but it is in smaller font, which means someone took the time to change the font to type this in our dossier, which makes it more important.
Or copy pasted.
Shush. More important.
All right.
This is fine.
Yeah. I turn to my team and go, all right, so here's the plan. We are at the hospital now. Our mission now is to round up every single little human child, put them into a room, lock them inside with surveillance camera 24/7, and see when they start doing their unity dance where they step on their mother's back.
Absolutely not. That will be a PR nightmare. The agency will never recover. We cannot do that.
Well, then I got nothing.
That is fair, but no.
Can we at least count how many children there are here? Then we know what we have to work with.
Please do.
So just as a bit of setup, you are at the juncture of the sidewalk from the parking lot, the visitor parking. The front doors are just ahead of you. It is 4 stories from the ground. So if you count a ground floor as the first story, there are
Thank you.
3 more stories above it. It probably won't make any sort of tactical difference for whatever reason, but just so we're clear on how many floors there are.
Just because you once jumped out of a window that you assumed was on the ground floor is not my fault.
Weird how that's not the only time that's happened.
You're not wrong.
Huh. There is the sidewalk also splits off kind of along the parking lot and wraps around the building. There's some shrubs. There's, I don't know, usual decorative stuff. There is the emergency room. I've only ever seen them as kind of overhang type spaces for the ambulances. And kind of that's off to the right, and then there's you can see a couple hospital workers, maybe they're nurses, maybe there's a doctor kind of doing a little smoke break kind of around the corner. You can see them just at the edge of the building on the left. I like how I'm using my hands, and not only can you not see them on stream, I'm pretty sure you can't see them on the Zoom chat either. So that's super great. Good use of the medium. And then there's a couple people coming, walking past you. Someone in a wheelchair with a nurse and a companion being discharged, going into a waiting car. Yeah. And you're probably at early afternoon, 2 p.m.-ish.
Getting closer to the time where kids do their dance.
Allegedly.
I think patients would probably just take a quick moment just to fill Dip and David in on what happened while they were away and describing the anomaly to them as best they can, just so they have an idea of what to look for. But also just kind of and then thinking back on stuff David's been saying, they would just go, but just to be clear, that doesn't mean you should just run up to children and start asking them, reveal your true form or anything. Let's try to be cool about it. We can take our time with this, Let's just relax. Maybe we don't make Cassandra's day any more stressful.
Fine. And for agreeing to do this, I take 1 demerit point because someone told me what to do.
You do. Thank you.
And
I even think that puts you on 2 demerit points because I told you not to do your stupid plan of putting them in rooms with security cameras.
shit. Yes, you're right. 2 demerit points. Man, being a boss is hard.
You're the only one with merits. You can take the demerits as well.
Wait. Wait, this is a good thing then. Patience, you know what this kid looks like. We can go to the hospital surveillance camera room and see if that kid is around here the closer we get to the 3 o'clock mark where they start doing the dance. Maybe we can catch him in the act.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% certain they'll just let us look at the tapes, but I think we can do that.
Oh, I'll make sure they give us the tape. I walk towards the security room.
Yeah, are you all going together?
Mm-hmm. I'm certainly not letting him go alone.
I think
As
Patience kind of
disappointed as I
stretches
am.
and just like checks like 3 separate watches and is just like, yeah, all right, yeah. I ain't got anything better to do, and just follows along.
Excellent. It is not far from the main entry for you. I mean, there is a map smack dab, as you enter with a "you are here," and there's the not registration, but the counter where you kind of can check in with people. Super glad
Security?
I know anything about anything. Yeah, and then there's a room marked security, and there's a little window that's like lost and found, and it's kind of the catch-all, like, and it's open, and there's like an empty chair there, but you don't see anyone at the window. There's a little bell, and there's also a door that is closed.
I go through the door. Don't even knock.
Do you open the door, or are you just like kicking it in? I just need to know.
I'm gonna open the door. Open the
Okay.
door first.
Fine. The door is locked.
Wait,
So what
how
you
about
could do?
we try something a little less obvious?
I mean, we work for the Triangle Agency. We get to go wherever we get to.
No,
What you
not how that works.
can do, if you would like, is you can call upon the agency to reshape reality a little bit for you.
Yeah.
If you would like to do a roll, and just see if you can get the door unlocked, or
Let's use the proper channels.
suggest maybe that someone take this opportunity to go to the window. Although you could also just ring the bell. Far be it from me.
Is there a directory? I know that we have the map, but is there a directory of like doctors or hospital staff? You know, someone will always say, CEO or whatnot when you walk into some of these places.
Yeah, you've got so you've got the wall of like benefactors, which is like right like in between the two like automatic doors. And then there is the list of locations in the hospital, oncology, pediatrics, all that stuff, all the different departments, emergency room, et cetera, et cetera. And then there is it's like a touchscreen computer, and it has a list of doctors and departments, and you can also do like a search. So if you're looking for, it is for staff. It is not like a, hey, here's all the patients, because that would not be great. But,
I'd specifically be looking for like the CEO listing or the head of security listing.
Yeah, that would be in that staff directory.
Okay. I'm going to use one of my intern abilities here.
Oh, yeah?
It is inherited name tag. And you see Dip turn his name tag around and kind of frown because the agency logo is no longer showing. And he will write, let's go with the CEO's name.
Robin Hastings.
I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Hold on.
Wow, you shot for the moon on that one.
He is going to write Robin Hastings on this name tag. And once permission, I can write a name on my name tag, and anyone that I meet, except for those on my team or in the agency, will treat me as said named person.
Wild. This game is incredible. Yes.
So that does not change physical appearances or anything. It doesn't do anything like that. It just has everybody but those other, besides the agents, treat me as the named person, as long as I wear this name tag.
Question. I mean, yes, obviously. But question, are you telling the others what you're doing, and how you expect to be...
Nope. Dip doesn't have a thought in his head to share. He's just seen a problem and is going to try to take initiative for the first time in his life.
Head empty, heart pure. Perfect.
And once that is done, he's going to literally walk back past through everybody to the window of the security and ring bell or knock on the window, however, to summon somebody.
All right. Perfect. I also love that you just have like an endless pack of these name tags. Like you can only use it once a mission, but like...
Well, this one specifically he writes on, so... But I do carry everybody else's business cards in my pocket.
I find that charming. Yes, perfect. Love this. All right, you are now, as far as anyone else is concerned, CEO Robin Hastings. What are the... And so... I can't imagine any of the rest of you pay attention to each other's name tags, but that would be a physical change, so just bear that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Would any of you like to request the agency's help in opening this door?
Before that's request made, can I knock on the window to get somebody first, though?
Yes. Is that a power move? Are you going to knock on the window and avoid the bell?
Oh, that's why I didn't know how we summoned him, if it was a window or a bell, or... Okay. I will ring the bell if that is the...
Okay. We technically summoning is like with a salt circle and some goats.
Yes, Anniek, I'm not bringing on the demons of the hospital. I would just like to ring the bell.
Just saying, if you wanted to...
how upset people get when you bring goats into a hospital?
Exactly.
Very.
I'm sure Anniek does, actually.
Well, it wasn't a goat, but sure, go on.
You have to bathe them? I took a miniature horse into a hospital once, and it's a lot of work.
I know.
But a lot of work.
I think they go a little far in what they demand of the creatures we bring into hospital. But keep going, I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially on freshly buffed floors. But, yeah, there's a pause. You can hear shuffling and, a squeaky chair, as someone gets up out of it, and, like, a drawer closing. And a young woman comes over, mid-20s, I'll say, comes over and starts to sit down, clocks you, which is a very funny phrase, and I wish I had said it towards patients, but Dip. Mr. Hastings, hi. Sorry, didn't mean to keep you waiting. I was just doing things, important things. I wasn't... Hi.
Hello,
what brings you
fellow
here?
hospital human. I am indeed...
That is a phrase.
Human in charge.
Haha.
I would request, as one who now runs said hospital, that these people here need to do formal work in your space that is behind locked door.
Yes, that is a string of words that Yes.
Please allow
away,
said
sir.
people into the door.
There is, she disappears for like 2 seconds because it's right next to the window. And the rest of you hear the door unlocking, and, she even like swings it in, for you. What can I assist you with?
I like the idea of the moment she opens the door, David is standing right in front of there smiling at her like this. Like with a full teeth smile.
Oh, you're Johnny on the spot. Okay, just take a step back. There's not a whole lot of room in here, but how can we help?
You are hereby relieved of duty. I tap her shoulder for a bit and then I walk in.
Am I being?
No,
Dip, Mr. Hayes.
No, he is making. No, he's making funny human colloquial joke.
Oh,
It is.
I love my job, sir. I love helping people, and I love keeping the hospital safe.
And you do a good job. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Please,
Gosh, that means a lot coming from you.
Dip kind of looks Cassandra's way, while addressing the security person. Please allow them access to, and just kind of leaves it hang while staring at Cassandra.
Hi, yes. We are investigating troubling events concerning young children, not babies, young children. Reports have been coming in of them acting in a strange kind of unison. We're wondering, hopefully just another stupid teen trend, right? At least it's not as dangerous as Tide Pods were.
That was a terrible week, let me tell you what.
Exactly. So just to be on the safe side, that is not another, very, very dumb idea that they've latched onto. We were hoping to check in your hospital for children that have been brought in after their parents are so far called it spells, weird dancing. The main thing is that the children don't remember they've done it.
Can you unmute and mute? Thank you. They don't remember? I'm just security. I mean, I'll help you any way I can. But I'm just security. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything.
I understand completely. We're specifically looking for access to records, obviously. All perfectly above board. We're all allowed to have these records accessed for us. Just aggregated data. We don't need any personal information, just numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got the computer there just next to the camera bank.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Can you log in for me?
Yeah, but I don't have access to like patient even aggregated.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can you log in? Mr. Hastings has forgotten his password. Boomer. So if you could reset
Mr.
Mr. Hastings.
Speaking to Mr. Hastings like that.
He's very hard of
course.
hearing. He's very hard of hearing. If you could have Mr. Hastings' account password reset for him so we can work with him.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably more of an IT sort of thing, but
yeah, exactly. If you could just call IT for us.
Yeah, I can do that. Here, she'll log into the computer. It is very security facing. It is
That's okay. As long as you have an account number, you can keep getting other accounts in the same company. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, well, you do what you need to do. Ask me if you have any questions. I'm just going to step over here and call IT for Mr. Hastings.
Perfect, thank you.
In the background, David is just pressing random buttons at the camera bank, and then he's going to go, I want eyes on every single child in this hospital.
Oh god, I feel like I feel like Patience is just here to mind David at this point. Also, Eva, in the interest of being honest with my general manager, I need a demerit.
Yes.
I lied.
You sure did.
Ooh.
I think the agency would give us access, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't have a signature, so technically I get one demerit.
Yes.
Which one of these cameras let me see into the children's room? Click, 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 click.
That's... Yeah, we don't have cameras in all the rooms. There's like the pediatrics floor is camera 13, which is just that one there that's labeled 13. But we don't, it's not like there's a button that'll just like, and some of the buttons that you've been pressing have just like, you know, turned one monitor off, turned it back on, turned it off, turned it on. One of them has like just started cycling through like different parking lot cameras. Another one has like changed something from like landscape view to portrait for some reason. And it's not even like a zoom feature. It's just like, why would you have a button that does this on security cameras? And then there's yeah, it is very much like hallway focused. There's a couple nurses stations. There's all the entrances. There's several on the like ER entry area. It's like dedicated. You don't have to cycle through them. And then there is there's also like a section in the computer that would let you, like, they record and you can enhance, zoom, edit, whatever from the computer also. And Felicity, not that anyone has probably read her name tag or said anything, is
was literally just about to ask that.
is trying to on like the landline phone explain to IT what they need and also like kind of tell you like where things on the computer are. If you would like access to patient information, excuse me, you could do a reality roll. Otherwise, it's not really... I mean, there's all sorts of security information, like security logs.
I feel like you want me to do a reality roll, and honestly, what could possibly go wrong? So, sure.
Great. Roll those D6s.
Nope.
How many do I get? Any
By
bonuses?
D6s, I meant 64s.
60. No, but do I get bonuses from anyone, or are people helping me? How does this work in this game? Help action?
I don't think so, and I don't know what anyone would be helping you with.
No,
not with a reality roll. I can overclock if somebody uses their anomaly power.
Yeah.
I was just hoping that there was some magic way that this might end up okay, but we're just gonna roll these dice.
Patience is just texting their fiance, by the way. They're just kind of like leaned up against the wall, just kind of texting him, kind of occasionally looking up, and at one point pulls out a retractable grabber claw that they use to like pick up trash and stuff, and just kind of pokes David and is like, "Hey, come on." But like not really like making eye contact. Like they're still texting with one hand and just kind of nudges them in the side a little bit in a kind of quit it sort of way, and then kind of puts the grabber claw back into their coat and goes back to texting.
Good. Yes. Love this. Yeah, if you were rolling with a specific quality, you can use one of your quality assurance points to adjust the die.
But no. The dice were kind, I think, or as kind as they can be. You got a little extra chaos. I have 3 3s.
That's
And the rest, and 3 1s.
That's no chaos. That's transcendence.
Oh, it's balance. It's balanced.
It is.
Excellent.
We love balance.
Balance in all things.
So you may choose a effect from the transcendence chart. This roll can count as any number of 3s. You can recharge 3 quality assurances, which I don't think you've used, or you can receive 3 commendations.
I'll be taking those commendations. Thank you.
Yeah, that tracks. And it is a success, so you get how is the agency helping you on this? I almost gave you demerits. That would have been hilarious.
No, that's so mean. The agency is helping me by just giving me, because even if they give me the Hastings login, CEOs don't have access to patient records. So what they're doing is they're just giving me access, not necessarily to the patient files, but to already aggregated study data that some poor, overworked med student has been writing up about weird children. Some PED student.
I have just given David another commendation for making Felicity change Hastings' password. Also, I'm curious.
I made her change that password.
Was that just to mess with the actual Hastings, or were you trying to like get into the computer?
I wasn't the one who changed the password. It was Cassandra, I think.
Oh, I thought you were the one that had.
Goodbye credits.
Sorry. Okay, I'm wiping all those commendations then for unknowingly tricking me. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, just kidding. Yes. So, Hastings' password has been reset, and your computer has been.
It was and to mess with Hastings and to keep Felicity busy.
Yeah. So you're creating a distraction, perhaps?
Yes.
All right.
Credit.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely feel free to lean into your competency, commendation, what have yous, because I'm not stingy with them.
I will say this. I will count this creative distraction.
Obviously, as I'm handing them out to people who have not even been.
That's a good CEO, you know. They just take credit without doing any work.
Honestly. So, yeah, the computer kind of flickers. There's a little bit of a glitch effect. And when it stabilizes, you now have a couple of new applications, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What do we find about creepy children that do weird things at 3 p.m. and don't remember them?
So it takes a minute, but you find throughout everything, there is actually something in the security logs about one of the agents, not Felicity, but one of the security guards made a note at 3 o'clock on a couple days ago that kids were being weird in the parking lot. No vandalism, seems fine. Like, just that's it. And around 3:15 that day, one child was brought into like the check-in reception, and was basically turned away. Like, there was a quick questionnaire, like, you know, did they fall? Did they consume anything weird? It just, like, this isn't worth bothering a doctor for. Like, if it happens again, come see us. But
yeah, triaged away.
yeah, you're just being, you're just overreacting.
Can I quickly note the date and time of that security guard note? Because it was 3 p.m. a few days ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just write it on a little post-it and slip that to David to look for that particular security tape?
Yeah.
I would like to do that. I have no idea if David knows what to do with this, but my part is done. Handing it off.
David?
Yes, David knows exactly what he's doing. He will take the information and do something with it.
Yes. Excellent. What?
I kind of want him to make a roll for him to see if he succeeds or not.
Yeah.
Extract.
Do you just want a button that says, like, push me? Something that, like, would... Like, do you want the agency's help in kind of making this easier?
Yeah. Yeah, he sees all the stuff that was given and is like, this is too complex. Give me something easier and pushable. Yeah. He wants the push me button. Let's go.
Yeah. Perfect. What have we
that
rolled?
That is 1-3.
That works for me. I love that. So you do succeed. It's so weird. Like, there's a lot of buttons and switches and stuff, but now there's just this, like, glowing golden button that says for David.
Oh,
I can't see where the glow is coming from, because it's like... It's just like... Yeah, and it's like the just right in the middle. And I get 5 chaos, so that's exciting.
Yes, let's go. And I will press the button. Click.
Immediately, like, the not one of the security camera screens, but a separate kind of computer screen flashes on, and you see it's one just angle on the parking lot, but it is a good angle of, it's like 8 kids, again between 3 and 10, and it seems to be there's only at first like 3 in the shot. Like, there's one with a parent, like, coming out of a car. There's 2 more coming down from the entryway, and then 3 o'clock hits on the timestamp, and they all just kind of congregate on the sidewalk, and more come in from off screen from elsewhere in the parking lot and out of the building. And not like, there's none in like hospital gowns or anything like that. It's just like a little radius, probably anyone from the waiting room, other kids from the parking lot. You can, like, another angle pops up and you can kind of see where they've come from, because it knows what you're looking for, so it gives you those camera angles. And they just gather and snap into a formation, again, like about 2 feet apart, evenly spaced, and they do the hop, and they're chanting. There's no audio, but you can see their mouths move, and you're kind of expecting, it's not like bad lip reading, like, you know that they're probably saying the chant. And they do turn a couple times, but they are all pretty much facing the same direction. Like, they kind of snap into that same, just like with patients, seeing them, like, look down that sidewalk out of the park. There's a focus. And it lasts about a minute. And a group of parents or people, I guess, you don't know if they're all parents, but like a crowd has kind of gathered to be like, what is going on here? And a couple people are recording on their phones. And then it's over. And they disperse. Yeah. And some of them go back inside. Some of them are hustled back into their cars.
Like, Patience, did you see the child responsible in that footage?
You're muted, I think.
I was like, muted. So I think probably that Patience, after seeing David hit the button, would have put their phone away and scooched a little bit closer, but not to be within touching range, remembering what happened last time, and just sort of was watching the footage. And honestly, does Patience see the sort of blurry child that's not a child in the recording?
No.
And well, then they would just...
You would be able to tell, I mean, so no, you don't see any child shape. You do see, like, about the distance away from where the kids were doing their little thing, that distance, from, like, the kids in the park to where that blurry kid had been, that location would be off screen, so it's kind of hard to tell, like, where that, if it's standing in the same spot, like, you can't see that on the camera. But also it just might not show up on camera. It's hard to say.
Yeah, so I think Patience would turn to David and be like, well, sorry, boss, doesn't look like it doesn't look like it showed up on camera. But you know, it's almost time. We could probably witness it for ourselves. Probably.
Yes, that is our plan now. I press the golden button again. How do I go back to that old life? Does it go back to life when I press the golden button again?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at this point, it's just reflecting the, like, channel 8 or whatever that, like, particular camera is. Just because it's, like, so close to what it could already do. You know, if you said, show me the real CEO Hastings, it's not going to switch over to that, but yeah, do you all stay? It's getting close. It's probably a quarter till. Yeah. Do you all stay in the security office? Do some of you head outside?
David will actually head out there. He will take, like, you know, those wireless earbuds and throw one to Dip. Keep me informed. I will be watching the perimeter. And starts power walking to where it is.
Wireless earphones and a Nokia brick. This is, yeah, doesn't work real good.
Perfect. Yeah, you head outside. It's a nice day. There are a couple people standing outside, maybe waiting, or yeah, probably waiting for something.
You know, and just to make sure that I get everything covered in the area, I'm going to use my eyes feature to grow a couple of extra ones around, like, my body, like at the back of my palm and my neck here and there, just so that I have 360 view of the entire place.
Yes, excellent. I will remind you, and I fully endorse this plan, but I will remind you that one of your, like, prime directives, and I know you have, like, actual prime directives as part of your competencies, but, like, the agency, leave no witnesses, is no loose ends is what they're called. Anyone who has seen something weird that they can't explain away. So we're already sort of on the line with weird children. Multiple eyes is going to be something that you will probably have to deal with, loose end wise.
I pull my collar up, pulls up a random fedora and puts it on as well.
Perfect. Love this. So, I think if you're opening more eyes, go ahead and roll attentiveness.
Yes, let's go. Oh, that's also only 1-3.
Okay. How do you... So for 1 hour, you can choose heat vision, essentially, night vision, which it is 3 p.m., so
yeah,
I won't tell you how to live your life, but...
Yeah, I think heat vision will make the most sense here. Just to see if this child is like, has a heat signature.
Yeah, because the other option is telescopic, which you can get up to like 5 miles away, but also you can't because there's buildings and trees in the way. All right, heat vision is go. The world kind of opens up before you. You are used to this for a number of reasons, I'm sure. I was like, wait, do crocodiles have heat vision? No, they don't. It's fine. Thinking of the predator. No big deal. You see everything as it was, but now there's, the car engines that have yet to cool. There's people sitting in their cars. There's you can see behind like the windows with blinds, you can see shapes of people. I don't think you can see through the like actual walls. That seems...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also probably no great loss, but yeah, I would say through the windows and stuff. There's like the metal strip in between the sliding windows on the lower floors. That is gonna be like very hot because it's like, I almost said midday sun, but you know what I mean. If there is something, I know you're specifically looking for this weird anomalous child. If there is anything else that you would specifically like to note with your heat vision, just let me know.
All right.
And oh wait, I believe I still get that chaos.
Yes.
Yes.
13 now, I think.
Yes.
Let's go.
Bless. What a good number. Love that. Love double digits. Also love to not have that in any way centered. It's fine. Is there anything else any of the rest of you would like to do to kind of prepare for the witching hour of 3 p.m. on a Monday? No? Cool.
Children's board? No.
You are hanging out. There are a couple benches if anyone wants to sit down. There's some people sitting on benches like further down the sidewalk and in a little... It's not even a park area, but a little green area for kind of off the parking lot. And 3 o'clock comes. I have a strong feeling at least one of you is looking at a watch. but you wouldn't really need to. At 2:59, there are a couple of kids have come out, and their father is talking on the phone, animated but not upset, and is just letting them, they're drawing in chalk on the sidewalk. He's kind of giving them something to keep them busy while he talks. And that's it for children that you can see at 2:59. At 3 o'clock, and the second hand hits, those two stand up in unison, and a few more come from between the cars, kind of, coming. A child that had come out maybe 5 minutes ago takes a second, but gets up with everyone else. A couple kids come from out of the waiting area, and there's like one 3-year-old. The rest are kind of in that like middling 8 to 5 range, and you see them. They their eyes are focused. They're focused, but also, like, they're all looking in the same direction, but there's not really I mean, I don't know if you're doing a wave or anything, but they're out of it. They're saying their chant in unison: step on a crack and break your mother's back. And they're doing a that little hop, and they are very intentionally trying to avoid the cracks on the sidewalk, and they are, I mean, they're doing it, and they're evenly spaced out. It's pretty much everything. Patience, you've seen this twice now. The rest of you, it is just what you saw on the security tape from Friday. You do see one child who looks the same. Patience, you didn't see this little boy at the park, but you all saw him at the hospital on Friday, in that security tape.
Yeah, I think like as I see those kids like start moving, I'm gonna go, they're starting, mobilize now, and then I will start making my way towards the kids, and I'm gonna turn like one eye, it just moves across my skin towards where I think, like off the camera, where that child would have been at, and see if there is a child there and whether they are giving off any heat signature.
You see, it is even blurrier than Patience saw in the video, like in the
Number.
The revisiting of that Forrest's memory. It's blurrier, it's unstable, like kind of flickering, and the heat signature is a swirling white to a dark red orange. It's very inconsistent. There's always something there, but it's hot and then it's cold, and there's parts of it that it's patchy, like nothing quite matches temperature wise. So yeah, you can tell that there's something weird there, and you have found an anomaly.
Okay, I have eyes on the anomaly. Engaging now. I'm gonna walk towards the kid. What are the others? I'll let the others do their thing first before I start, stirring shit up.
I was gonna say towards the
flickering child.
The child. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably a good time. Well, it's a good opportunity for Patience to use another of their anomaly powers, which I've been excited to use. So, upon seeing David saying, engage, the target go towards the anomaly and the fact that he's already headed there, you see Patience kind of lazily pull out a different pocket watch. This one's probably fits neatly within their palm, but it's pretty big. It is decorated with white asphodels, and they open it up, and with a little sigh, they kind of look at everyone and just go, y'all got to calm down. Look, we got time. And there is this sort of light blue glow around their irises, and it kind of, you'd have to be really close to see it, but like it's going down like kind of like a futuristic sort of timer to sort of denote that, like, you know, time, we've got time because I have plenty of it. And so Patience is going to use their timepiece power again to make sure that everyone has enough time to either approach the anomaly if that's what they want to do, or another action. But Patience is definitely going to walk over there with David, but just kind of like a bit of an ambulatory sort of amble, stroll, long strides, kind of lanky, kind of loping. Just, no hurry, no rush. There's time. And I know I need to roll professionalism, which I actually do have points in, so that's good, at least if something goes wrong. So let me see here. Oops. Okay, let me.
So you can spend. It's a finite pool, but it can be refreshed by. Oh my gosh! Sorry, I hit my headphones clean out of my ears. You can spend points to change a die if you want to or need to. But it won't trigger like a Triscendence or anything like that. It just gives you a bonus. Yeah.
Let's see what we get with these two. Right, that is.
And I do have a general manager note after this roll before any other decisions are made.
Wow. This thing really just wanted me to... Okay, so I rolled in total only 2 3s.
Okay.
The rest were like 4s. I got more 4s than 3s.
That's okay. It still is a success. I just get 4 more chaos for 17 total. And what does this... So you get... So you do succeed. You don't get any additional minutes of prep, but how does this success look for you?
So I would say probably for Patience, they just kind of, walk along a little bit behind, referencing that David is the CEO, but and that they'll probably have to clean up any mess that occurs, but just sort of heading towards the anomaly. I think they kind of make a hand signal at Dip, because Dip has the briefcase like, hey, be ready. Hey, you, it's just all these weird hand motions that make sense to them, but just sort of, which Dip should know is the intern. They should have memorized the agency, approved hand gestures. We all took that webinar. We had it, it was a team building thing. It was a half-day seminar. We all had to go and learn. But the approved agency hand signal for, anomaly spotted, be ready with the briefcase. And then also just giving like a nod to Cassandra, like, if things, just keep an eye on the children, or, some other action that perhaps Cassandra would like to do, but they're definitely sort of headed that way. And they're just sort of idly swinging their asphodel timepiece kind of back and forth in a lazy sort of manner, just having something to do with their hands and trying not to look threatening, generally.
Mm-hmm.
That is an excellent segue into a refresher. As your general manager, I just want to remind you that your primary goal is to retrieve any anomalies. some anomalies can be dangerous and do you harm if approached certain ways. More interestingly, anomalies use chaos points to, well, do things. And one of the big ones is I only need 10 chaos points for. It's, let's just say things could go very badly. So just keep that in mind. I mean, badly for whom? Who could say? Probably you. But, yes. So you have, a flickering minor anomaly. You have, David, CEO, heading straight for it, followed by Patience, at a leisurely pace. Who is flashing hand signals to Dip, who I feel like is the natural next weird. We're gonna have to look at alchemy. I will have to look at alchemy after this. Dip, Cassandra, what are you two doing?
I don't know what Dip's doing, but I'm wildly flashing hand signals back at Patience to remind them of the fact that the briefcase doesn't work yet because we first have to identify the focus of the anomaly. And that was also a half-day seminar. I know they were there and they should know this.
At that, probably Patience takes a moment and is just like, right, got ahead of myself again. Forgot my wins and wheres. Again, I went too far ahead. You're right. And just kind of makes like a different motion at Dip and is like, no briefcase yet, but just the general sort of like be ready sort of signal that's like probably like something that just looks like absolutely nothing to outsiders, but it's just like, oh
Turtle
yes, of course.
Turtle on its back.
Yeah.
Upside down latte. Upside down latte. You joke. That is the actual Dutch sign for koffie verkeerd.
Oh,
upside down latte.
Nice.
Wow, I feel as confused as Dip right now.
Educational tag. Let's go.
Dip would like do that natural, like picked up the briefcase, but he put a piece of paper down on the counter as he's picking up the briefcase. And now he's kind of doing like the stutter step. Like he took like 2 or 3 forward on the original hand signals. And then now he's seeing multiple hand signal conversations. So he's kind of doing like the back, forth, like, and like just kind of looking all around and is kind of stuck in like, I don't know what to do now because nobody's told me what to do and they're not sure what they're doing. So he's just watching the hand signal conversation happen while standing there. And kind of, I would assume I have a look out the door because I don't think we had a bunch of twists and turns. Just kind of like seeing that Patience has been walking that way and David had obviously already walked out a minute ago. He decides he's going to just kind of say, you know, because he did read Felicity's name and says, thank you, Felicity, from me, Mr. What was his name? Humphreys. No.
Hastings.
Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. Sorry about that. Hastings. And he's going to take the briefcase, but he's going to kind of get to where the door where he can still see Cassandra because they're still in the security room, I believe. So he's got like a interim view between Patience and Cassandra and just kind of standing there still now waiting.
I leave it to you. You kind of wrapped up with the security footage about 15 minutes before 3.
Oh.
So if you wanted to stage yourself outside, you can already be out there.
Okay.
Because I think David and Patience were... Cassandra, I don't know if you were still looking at stuff on the computer, but if you want to all be outside, you sure can.
Well, then I will position Dip in the 2 doors that you always have going into a hospital. So like that little foyer of in or out, like
perfect.
So both doors are kind of doing that close but open because Dip moves back and forth. So both doors are just closing and openly randomly.
So you'll see the kids like come past you to go outside and kind of in a zombie-esque like they don't acknowledge you. They barely stop for the doors, like which do that like they close and then they take a second to like open back up.
But Dip is just kind of standing there now, waiting for some kind of information of what to do next. His intern brain is stuck.
The anomaly flickers, and David, you can see it like a whirlpool of red heat and cold spots just swirl around through the chest-ish area out, and it knows that you are aware of it, and it raises a hand. And that is where we are going to stop for this week.
Hey.
So, yeah. Good work, y'all. Let's do some quick sign-offs. How we doing? You good?
Excited to kick some swirling kid's butt.
I can't wait to see what character Nicky rolls up with next week. Because David's going to be dead.
We shall see.
All right. Let's just go back in order. Anniek.
Hi, my name is Anniek. I run games and things on Sword and Key. It's a really cool channel. Maybe you've heard of it once or twice. Usually on Sundays. And other than horror levels of body horror for Vast Grim, which is happening soon, I don't think I currently have anything to plug because we have to start planning more things. And planning is hard. It's so hard. So keep an eye, probably just on the Sword and Key Twitter because I don't like Twitter anymore. So keep an eye on the Sword and Key Twitter, and we'll be posting things about campaigns and casting and mini campaigns and other stuff that we'll be running and doing here. I'll leave it up to Eva to tell you all about the Sword and Key things I'll be on as well in the coming few weeks. That's it for me. I had a great time. I'm glad Cassandra is not near the swirling vortex of doom right now, because that's usually where I am at the end of the cliffhanger. And I feel like I'm doing really well right now. Thank you.
Good. Great. Basil.
Hi, buddy. I've been Basil. Gosh. I don't know. Technically speaking, because I keep forgetting to turn it out of extended mode, you can still back my game Pelogos. I keep forgetting to turn that off on Crowdfunder. Every time I think I did, and then I'm like, wait, no, I never pushed the button. But hey, you know, my ADHD brain is your gain. You can still back the game. And then otherwise, you'll miss the window until it comes out next year. Otherwise, I've had fun. I've been patient. I've been enjoying having fun with time. You know, there's still plenty of time for everyone to escape safely and not get eaten. You know, maybe the child is friendly. They just need a hug from someone that's not Patience.
Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch. You can find me at Mitch_D78 on Twitter and I think a few other places. Mainly, I just like to hype my friends up for all the things they do. I'm lucky enough every now and then to get to play a game with some great folks, which I'm loving right now. I'm always looking for games, so if you have a spot, I'd love to sit at a table. But again, I'm more here for these phenomenal people, and especially on this channel. There are some great games, there are some great tables, and wonderful shows to watch. So I'm glad to be here and appreciate everyone that's sitting here helping us all have some fun.
And Nick.
Hello there, I'm Nick. You can find me on social media on Twitter and Twitch as NickSnat1, the number 1. And I'm also part of a group called Nightshade Tavern, which is a Malaysian-based D&D group trying to make D&D and TTRPG as accessible to new players as possible, because the hobby is quite kind of small and can be a bit gatekeepery here, so we're trying to nullify that a bit. And so I occasionally run or stream some of the games I run for them, and I will be doing Kids on Bike on Tuesday on my Twitch, which will be fun. And on Thursday, I will be doing a D&D game. So yeah, if you're all, up at an ungodly hour because of my time zone, yeah, feel free to check it out.
Excellent. We are pro random time zones in here. Okay, good. My commands are being slow. Oh, I'm Eva. You can find me... It's been a day. On Twitter at @TheEvaSarate. At least as long as it lasts, and then I will be forced to finally migrate to somewhere else. I am one of the co-founders and sometimes showrunners of Sword and Key. Absolutely need to get on the planning bandwagon again, constantly. Anniek and I will be interviewing Caleb and Sean from Triangle Agency on this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Central European time, not Central American time. That'd be weird. And then we will be back together again with Jason Cordova of The Gauntlet, discussing Silt Verses and public access and all sorts of other great things. Saturday, July 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central European time. And I am so sorry I did not do the math for Malaysian time on that one. I just need like 8 clocks above my desk, and that will make my life easier. Every Saturday we have D&D with Horizon's Call. We have 2 more sessions left of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm just doing Pacific time from here on out. I'm sorry to everyone. And I think that's it at the moment. I'm just going to do a quick exclamation point schedule. Oh, Mitch, thank you. You've been in chat all day, just doing all the work, and I appreciate that. Today we are going to send a raid over to our friend Ren at Thorny Dryad. Assuming they are still streaming, because I just closed my tab. But we, as Triangle Agency, will be back. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. I don't know the date off the top of my head. I want to say... It doesn't matter. It's Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific.
The 18th.
Thank you, Mitch. I'm always confused by that. It tells me it won't raid, and then it sets up the raid. So we are going to head on over to Thorny Dryad. If you are a subscriber, you can use that raid chat message. Absolutely no obligation. I am not your mother. I am going to sign off for today. Take care, everyone. Be kind to yourselves and play some games.